Who is this girl? Take a minute, have a look, and let's go into it. Let's delve in to how I got from that to what I am currently, which I will get a picture up as well. Hello, welcome to Muscle Mama Sophie. If you're new, I am Muscle Mama Sophie because I am a mum. I'm trying to build some muscle, and my name's Sophie. Genius, right? I've just got some little cheat sheets so I don't ramble on and stutter and and ah all the time. So let's get into who I am. I was at my heaviest in that picture and I weighed in at a whopping 150 kilos or 330 pounds. You can work it out into stone. I'm just going to do kilos and pounds to make it easier for everybody. I am now fluctuating between 100 to 202 kilos, which is 220 to 224 pounds. I have been fluctuating since about March time. It's kind of just been constant. And although when you put it into perspective like that of I'm going between 4 pounds here, that's nothing. Do you know what I mean? That's too much water one day, a couple of poops. Do you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. It's just frustrating from a mindset when you're in a weight loss journey that you want the scale to go down, and it's constantly like that. But as we know, it's normal, and I will obviously get into it a bit more. Right, so from the beginning, I began my weight loss journey way back in May 2020. I actually did this with my friend, and we both said, right, let's lose some weight together. I began my journey back in May 2020, and I actually did it with my friend. We said, May 1st, right, let's do this. We're both sick of it. Let's change. So we did a weight loss journey together. We would weigh in with each other every week. She kind of whittled off and kind of gave up. Not a problem. Wasn't in the right mindset. Fair enough. It is tough. I then continued, and in that first year, so obviously May 2020 to May 2021, I lost 38 kilos, which is 86 pounds. And I was basically eating low carb. So I would cut out rice, pasta, potato, bread, but I would make alternatives. Like I would use yogurt and flour flatbreads. Go check out that video. I would have like oats, couscous, like all that kind of stuff. I just wouldn't have those 4 like main carbs. I would count calories because I didn't know. Okay, don't come for me. At that point, I didn't know. I've learned, it's fine. I've learned calories don't mean anything. It is heat. Macros is what you're looking at. I then fell pregnant in September 2021. So between May 2021 to September, I met somebody. They weren't as supportive. I kind of like slipped off the diet a little bit. And then obviously fell pregnant. To my surprise, I only put on from like May 2021 to, when did she come out? April 2022. I only put on about 6 to 12 kilos, which is about 13 to 26 pounds. Considering that was my second pregnancy, I was working part-time, whereas the first pregnancy I had, I only put on the baby weight, literally the baby, because I was working full-time. So I didn't have time to kind of pick and eat too much or anything like that. I was working full-time running a baby room in a children's nursery. So I was pretty impressed with that. So then as soon as she came out as an emergency C-section, both of my kids were. So as soon as I kind of got the all clear to start gymming again, I started it. July 2022, I then went back on my weight loss journey, and I actually started carnivore then, because I'd met Jonathan. And I'd said to him, I want to get back on this weight loss. I was on a journey before, like I want to, get back to it. And he said, well, what about carnivore? Obviously, it's the species appropriate diet. It's the proper way to eat. I'd never heard of it. Won't lie to you, never heard of it at all. Until I met Jonathan. Obviously, I learned about it. So I began that July 2022. And I'm currently still on it. Because as we know, you are classed as carnivore if you're a 70% plus animal based, which I am. So although I'm adding in like fruits and veggies, the occasional like yogurt flatbread that I made in the previous video, I am still 70% plus animal based. So I'm still carnivore, so don't come for me, okay? You can leave that out in the comments. Just after my 1 year carniversary, I began to kind of, I began to include and incorporate some like fruits and veg, kind of switched a little bit to low carb. And now the reason for this is simple. My mental health, my relationship with food wasn't great. I'd begun obsessing over the scales. I would weigh myself in the evening, knowing that I'd drop about a kilo before bed, like from sleeping. And if that scale number was too high, then I would make myself sick. Even if I was full carnivore, strict carnivore that day, within my macros, everything, because the scale was at a certain number and I knew that by the morning it would be higher than the previous morning, I would make myself sick. I would feel guilty for having the tiniest bit of off carnivore, which then would lead to like mini binges occasionally. And I'm a mum, I've got 2 kids. We're going to be out and about socialising, and as we know, socialising as a carnivore, especially in the UK, isn't easy. The comments of, oh, you're just going to have that, or, you know, it gets too much sometimes. So I thought, you know what? My mental health, my relationship with food, especially as I've got 2 girls, is more important than being strict carnivore. And I did feel pressure because obviously I'm going out with the original carnivore bodybuilder, Carnivore Muscle. Check out his channel. I did feel pressure to stay as a strict carnivore. But when I was then talking with him, he was like, I don't care. As long as you're healthy, happy, you're still going to be over 70% animal-based anyway. It's better than most people, let's be honest. And it's definitely better than what I was to get to that fatty at the beginning. Only I can call myself fatty, okay? So don't do that in the comments. So I thought I can't be doing that. I don't want the girls to see a poor relationship with food because it's not healthy, and unfortunately so many people have that nowadays, especially women, because society makes us think we have to look a certain way, and I don't want that for them. I've always had weight issues, body issues, food issues. I don't want the kids to get it, so they don't even see me weigh every morning. They just think I go downstairs to the toilet because we've got one upstairs. So then if the older kid needs the toilet, she can go and I'm not in there having a wee. So I'm prioritising my mental health, my relationship with food, and obviously carnivore is strict. I know it is easy because you have like 5 foods, but it's still strict in the sense of that's all you can have. And there's only so many ways you can do an egg. I know on Jonathan's channel there is, and my channel now, there is a carnivore pasta. So I'm adding in fruits and veggies, the occasional like yogurt flatbread. If I want something and I want it enough, I will have it a little bit. I won't go crazy. I know this cliche saying is all in moderation, but I'm trying to remove the guilt. So if I tell myself I can't have it, I'm going to feel guilty for having it. Whereas if I'm out, let's just say at a birthday party, and you know somebody offers me something and it's rude to then say no, well, I don't want to then feel guilty for having like a tiny bit of birthday cake, or do you know what I mean, something like that. And that's obviously what I don't want, is the guilt of things. So it's retraining my brain to be like, no, I can have anything I want to have, but I will obviously make the better choices first, and then if I still want it, still hungry, then I'll have a little bit, because then I've kind of satisfied the I want this, because I've had a little bit and I'm fine. And normally if I have a little bit, I'm all good. But because obviously before I wasn't allowed that little bit, that's what sent the guilt of I shouldn't have this, oh my god, this is wrong, etc. So yeah, I would then obviously become obsessed with scales, start making myself sick, and again, that's a slippery slope. I don't want to go down it. I did it for a couple of months, and touch wood, I haven't done it, I haven't thought about it since I've kind of started eating in a slightly different way, which I will get into. Now I know scales go up and down for many, many reasons, especially as a woman, hormones, stress, sleep, water weight, extra salt that day, all sorts of things. So I know that it's not fat gain. If my scales go up a kilo overnight, it is not a kilo of fat. Unless I've eaten like absolutely ridiculous, which I would know, oh okay, yes I had, you know, it is definitely that. But when I've eaten, you know, on track and all that, and the scales still go up, I know it's not fat gain. it is simply water weight. It's, if I don't sleep all night, my scales don't go down as much as they normally would. And obviously with kiddies, especially a little one, I don't always sleep. If I'm stressed, my body is obviously like clinging to water weight or whatever is in there, and it's like, no, we're not going down today. And again, being a mother, working part-time, being a family, a partner, everything, it's stressful. Do you know what I mean? You all know, you know. So yeah, so with that being said, what I'm now doing, and I've recently started it, I think a couple of weeks ago now, I've started, I don't know what the fancy terminology is, I'm just going to call it like intuition eating. Of, I ate what I wanted, didn't take the piss, but I added what I needed. So if I wanted like a yogurt, like I remember when I was in hospital having my second, I had these yogurts, can't remember the name, something dairy, or something farm. Anyway, my friend brought round a yogurt, she brought round a tray, random, I know, and I had one of them, and I thought, right, I would like one of these, but how can I make it better? So I added some Greek yogurt to it to bulk it out a bit, because obviously those tiny little like kiddie yogurts aren't going to fill a grown up. So I added some Greek yogurt to bulk it out, and then that was then fine, because obviously Greek yogurt's got more protein in it than a normal yogurt, filled me up a bit more. Perfect. So I'm doing that, and that has worked. Like the first week my scales went down 0.6 kilos, which is like 1.3 pounds, so perfect on average. And then obviously kind of since then I've been out and about lots. I've probably been overdoing it ever so slightly, so they have been like up and down, which is fine, because I know, do you know what I mean, there's a reason for it. So I'm now starting, I'd like to kind of take the stress out of like tracking anything, because I think that doesn't help when it's, before I put that in my mouth, I must put it in my app, and I think that's just too much. I've got enough crap to do, you know, until we're not like adding in having to write down everything that I fucking eat. I haven't got time for that. So what I'm trying is, and I don't know how long is best to give it, maybe a month, a few weeks to a month, to know whether it's actually doing something or not. So I'm going to try and have like the same things for breakfast, lunch and dinner, bearing in mind when I'm at work I can't always like heat up food, so I will have to change it up. So I'll probably do like have a couple of options for each meal, but try and stick to them so that I know that it's all fine, and then see how I go and go with that. And obviously if not, I will relook at things and reevaluate and kind of make a decision from there. But I want to get these scales back down. I've kind of fluctuated since March, like I said, and it's annoying when you've got a goal. It's frustrating. So I'm hoping that'll help, and I'm getting a new routine of I'm going to work out before the kids even get up. So I'm going to set an alarm for it before everybody has to get up for the school run anyway, because unfortunately my gym is the thing that has to be sacrificed. I can't always gym, although I have dumbbells and I do it at home, so I can do it in the house or in the garden. If I'm having to take Jonathan to the gym, and then I can't, if I then have time while he's at the gym, perfect, but sometimes I've got stuff to do while he's there, because he's only there for like an hour, then I have to go get him, so I don't even have a full hour, because by the time I get back and then have to leave to pick him up again, it's about 45 minutes. Sometimes the young one doesn't sleep, which isn't always a problem, because then I can do it with them, but sometimes they are both just very needy, and I can't pick up a weight without a kid wanting to come up, clinging to me, getting right under my feet. Then try and do it in the evening. Sometimes I'm just too tired to even do it. Full day, especially if I've been working, I do 10-hour shifts, then coming home to the whole tea time, bath time, bedtime. So yeah, I'm gonna, obviously I don't want to sacrifice my gym, because I think it's been like a good couple of weeks since I've actually gymmed properly. I've tried to get as many steps in as possible, because as we know, walking is very underrated. So yeah, that's where we're at. I will probably do like an update maybe in like a month. So yeah, any comments, any nice ones, any questions, anything like that, pop them in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Bye.